Hello, it's Greg Grizzled and We're back. We hope you're having a happy day wherever you're listening to this audio content from. As always, we'd like to thank you for your continued support of Greg Grizzled and social media and writing efforts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is episode 008 of the Greg Grizzled and definitely not a podcast to show a light and fluffy look at social media, Japan, Japanese food, expat life, and life in general. As always, your retweets of this and all the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful content that we tweet and retweet often on Craig Hoffman 11 on Twitter is greatly appreciated. Thank you in advance for your cooperation in helping us get the good word out there about Greg Grizzled and Gaijin and our active core of supporters. We appreciate it. Today's topic is focused on the synergy of Twitter and blog and personal brand and rebranding and market focus. That's a lot to cover in 5 minutes. We should get to it. It's important to understand when you start out with a blog, you do need a clear idea of who your audience is. That doesn't mean that cannot change over time, but you have to understand who you are personally interested in connecting with your blog. And that's also true on Twitter. Early on, of course, you're just looking to build some social media credibility, and in doing so, you're going to get a montage of people from a variety of areas. That's great if you want to build a raw number of Twitter followers, but at some point that following group becomes discombobulated and one that's really, really hard to write for if you want to get those valuable likes and retweets of your blog content, for example. When one goes beyond that, we're looking for ways to draw in our core audience, those people that we expect to follow us. Greg Grizzled and Gaijin does that with food pictures in the blog posts as well as on Twitter. We also do that with a variety of content for English teachers. Again, that's not a major focus for us, but it draws in a segment of the Greg Grizzled and Gaijin Twitter following. The larger group that we tend to have collected over the past almost 2 years is one of social media and content creators. We often give tips and hints for promoting such content, creating such content quickly. That is content that is of value to the general reader, not so technical that someone who's never done that can't enjoy something from it, but it gives enough meat and potatoes in that content that even a seasoned content creator can take something from it. It's also important to realize that once you develop a brand and identity, if you rebrand to something completely different, you run the risk of those followers who you worked so hard to gain to not come over with you. To suddenly change is problematic. It's problematic too when you don't change things like your website address, your Twitter handle, your Twitter identity description in the profile. These are things that allow a follower, new and old, to realize what you're doing. That's a process of aggressive tweeting, of content, of getting the word out that you are shifting and changing. It's important to understand that as you have changed into something else, if it's not directly connected to what you've been doing, that's also problematic. It's very difficult for Greg Grizzled and Gaijin to go from older expat issues in Japanese food to a sudden switch of American hamburgers and life in Midwest America. Could it be done? Yes, but it's not going to be a very easy road to convert a Japanese file kind of following into an American following. There's a big difference on Twitter between being popular and being famous. Being popular means you produce and you put out things that people are interested in and they engage you. Being famous is you can put out whatever you want and people will follow you anywhere. That level of fame and fortune on Twitter is very, very, very rare for most people. It is possible to get popular, and we like to think that we are, but that means that we're very aware of what blog topics and blog posts and Twitter posts are doing well, and we tend to lean on and create more of that content as we are looking to engage our current audience and reach out to new people. That's the last point. You have to reach out. If you have so much ego to think on any level that you are popular or even famous enough for people to come to you on social media, especially Twitter or your blog, you're going to be disappointed. You have to get out and do the legwork to make yourself successful. That's it, and have a great, great day.